Hello, guys. I'm Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with a beautiful, lovely, sometimes she will make me a sandwich wife of mine, light of my life, Yanzi Lynn.
Hi.
And today is the day we're going to talk about Free Comic Book Day. Marvel Comics has announced their Free Comic Book Day, and it's for everyone, and it's free unless you're a cis white male. So let's get into it. So I was scrolling around the comic book news today, and I was like, "Oh, Free Comic Book Day! What's Marvel putting out today?" And it's Marvel's Voices. Now, this is a thing that they did previously throughout this last year. I don't know if it's on the same path. We'll get into that, but before it was like, let's do like an Echo story, and let's go hire a Native American person. And maybe they've been trained in comics or not, but they didn't really care. It was all purposely a diversity hire, and it was supposed to tell you a voice you maybe haven't heard. And this was something that, you know, basically go woke, go broke, sure, but this is I think it's a little bit more sinister. I think it's Mickey Mouse trying to sell diversity and hire people randomly that fit the check boxes of said diverse character, and they never really have intentions on hiring them again. Now let's get into it, Yanzi.
So what is happening is that Marvel is doing this Free Comic Book Day. They're only doing 3 titles, and this is one of the things that they're putting out. The title is Marvel Voices. There will be a grand total of one new story in this entire book, and everything else is going to be, well, just reprints, I guess. They say this book will include 7 Marvel Voices story, spotlighting creators and characters from different cultures, communities, and identities. In addition to a brand new story starring one girl, they will reprint the following stories from the past Marvel Voices one-shots. So Charming is pretty much just a whole book of mainly reprints, right? And stop me if I'm wrong, but aren't new comic book day materials generally new material?
So if you're new to this channel, please hit like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. This is a thing. Free Comic Book Day is an event that was started up by retailers. It is, like the name says, a free comic book. And why is something free? To lure people into comic shops. And this is the irony here. They're like, hey, people, you know, pop culture relevance. People know Spider-Man. People know this character, Captain America, whatever. Everything's so popular now in mainstream pop culture. Why not have a special day to lure people in? Now, the idea is it would help comic book sales. You know, now these books aren't free. The retailers do have to pay for them. What it's morphed into is not what it was set out to do. It's actually now retailers often run big sales on trade paperbacks, on statues, stuff like that. And this is kind of like the Black Friday for the comic book industry. And it's a way for retailers to unload and have massive sales and have massive paydays. Publishers sometimes have been using Free Comic Book Day as a way to kick off a new story that will turn into like a big event, like Infinity or something like that. You know, something with the Infinity Stones or whatever. You know, that DC's done it a couple of times. It's, you know, use it as a way to pull potentially that new person that came into the comic book shop for the free comic into the next Batman event. It's very peculiar that Marvel's actually taking this diverse angle here. Now, basically because they've been doing it, it's not a lot of new source material, but it's, I don't know who they're calling out to. This is basically a free pamphlet. This is a free diversity pamphlet of Marvel Comics. The average person maybe will recognize 2 characters on here.
Well, that would be Black Panther and Miles Morales' Spider-Man because they have been on the big screen. Well,
Right.
Shang-Chi probably, but that doesn't really look like the Shang-Chi that was in the movies, you know? So
Right.
maybe 3 at the very most, I would say.
Right. I don't know. I mean, what's the point of this? Is the comic book free unless you're a cis white male? I mean, because this is all about representation. But when you take these characters together, let me use this as example, like Shang-Chi. Let's say if Marvel was doing an Asian Pacific Islander one shot with Shang-Chi, that potentially can have a voice and say something. When you take all these characters that are diverse characters and you put them together all on the cover, the only thing this cover says, the only thing that's being said, it's free representation, all of that, but not for cis white men. I mean, that's kind of what I get from this. Now, is that wrong? This argument about representation in characters is so peculiar to me because in the end, people just want the characters they like. It doesn't matter if it's the character the company wants to shove down your throat. If a character, I've seen comic companies put in tons of money and time trying to get a character to be liked, and sometimes that can easily happen. I mean, if you could just manufacture a character likability, then every character would sell like Batman. Okay, that's the reality behind it. And arguably, none of these characters are going to sell as much as, say, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Tony Stark, Iron Man. That's not like a slight on Black Panther or Shang-Chi or Miles Morales. It's not a slight on them at all. It's just those are the original characters. Now, Black Panther, arguably a really cool character. Some of these other makeshift Marvel diverse characters, not so much. Why would Marvel Comics, when retailers need this to be a freebie to lure people into stores, and so they can try to sell these variant covers, these overstocks that they've qualified for, to get rid of this Marvel glut, have big sales day? Why would Marvel they're drowning. They're drowning in over ordering for variant covers, and Marvel's like, hey, I could throw you a rope, but here's a brick. I mean, this is kind of like insult to injury.
Actually, I see one major issue over here. What they're doing is that they're taking all these so-called representation of diverse characters and just shoving them all together. It's almost like saying, oh, you are a minority, or you're an LGBTQ person, or whatever. Basically, if you're not a cis white male, you belong in this group over here. And you put all you guys together. It's a bit insulting on some level if you think about it.
Yeah, why the cis white male thing's coming up is something that SJWs argue about on Twitter all the time, but arguably it's also the biggest part of the fan base. So, in the customer buying base for the American comic book industry. So to kind of diss that, it kind of says, well, is this a good business strategy? Is this a good business plan? What is this in the end? So I don't know, guys. Let us know down below in the comments section. What do you think about this? How do you feel about this move by Marvel? Is Marvel Voices something that you're into even? I don't know. Also, I want to say big shout out, Inglorious Rex, $244,000, 466. We are a couple, a handful of backers away from hitting 245, which is absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll leave you guys with the trailer for Inglorious Rex, and we will catch you guys again with another video. Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, I don't know where to begin, All this dirt on my skin, I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for a pasta, so now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the